Thank you. So I just want to say that throughout history, there's been movements like this one today throughout the entire history of humans. In 16th century Europe, people gathered to protest the violence and tyranny of their Catholic Church. Women came together to gain their rights as equal citizens, and African Americans joined together to fight for civil rights. We as humans come together to fight for what we believe in, to make the world we live in a better place. Today, we fight for an issue more threatening than humans have ever faced, the climate crisis. Here in Juneau, it may feel mild, warmer weather, perhaps a spike in our electric bill. We dwell on it for a moment, but we can go on with our lives. But this is not so for the villages in northern Alaska whose communities are eroding into the ocean. This is not so for the hundreds of thousands of people in Africa starving due to prolonged drought. And even that is nothing compared to what our future looks like. If we continue at our current rate of emissions, our oceans will become too hot to support phytoplankton, who account for 2/3 of the atmosphere's oxygen production. The loss of this will lead to a mass mortality event of all oxygen-dependent life by the year 2100. I would be 97. If I have children, they would be middle-aged. They will grow up in a world where the climate crisis is what governs their lives. But by then, the greenhouse gases that we emit will already be running their deadly course. By then, my children will be powerless to change their future. They will be powerless to do what this generation has not. Their very ability to live hinges on the decisions we make today. And this is what makes our fight for climate justice fundamentally different than any other fight in our past. There is no such thing as a temporary setback. Every month, every day, every minute that goes by that fossil fuels are pumped into our atmosphere takes us farther from the hope of returning to what our planet was before. In our fight for climate justice, we do not have time. We do not have time to rest in the delusion that our personal actions are too small to be consequential. We do not have time to worry about our popularity or re-election. We, as citizens and politicians, as students and as business investors, do not have time to prioritize anything other than fighting the climate crisis in whatever way we can. And right now, we are failing. Every single elected official in the building behind me has sworn an oath to uphold the Alaska State Constitution. A constitution which states its very purpose is to transmit to succeeding generations a heritage of political, civil, and religious liberty. Creating a state where the annual oil production releases 21 billion pounds of carbon into the atmosphere is blatant failure to uphold that oath. And everyone who has not called this out, who has not done everything in their power to hold the government accountable, is failing in their moral duty, the claim they make every day to do what is best for their children. We have gone too far in this crisis for change to be anything other than drastic. If we're to have hope at all, we must prepare for change on an extreme scale. We must establish a stable economy that is not based in the production of petroleum, an economy that is based on the needs of everyone, as opposed to the profits of a few. Yeah. We must divest now. Because unlike previous movements in our history, there is no such thing as taking a small step forward. We can celebrate the 2 of the 32 countries at the International Forums of Sovereign Wealth Funds who have divested from fossil fuels. But this is not enough. Their choices will make no difference if they are the only ones. We must follow their lead. We must act like we truly do care about the future of our children and grandchildren. Thank you.